So that's peak week in the bag. That's the heaviest the weights are going to be for the whole program, the most running I'm going to have to do for the whole program. I try to get as much of it done as possible, but work, life, commitments, all that kind of stuff got in the way. But I did get a decent amount done this week. And yeah, I really tried to push it when I was in those sessions. And speaking of pushing it, I also did another full sim, but this time solo. So what happened was V convinced me to do another full sim. We agreed to do it like the Saturday before peak week because obviously I'm a genius like that. What ended up happening though on the day is I had to cancel. So we tried to realign like schedules and that kind of thing, but it just wasn't gonna happen. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was at the time I was thankful it was because I wasn't gonna circle back. Let's be honest. But what happened was that night she messaged me and she was like, yeah, full sim done. This is the time I did. Yeah, these are one or two things I picked up or whatever. I was like, you what? So, needless to say, it was either my ego or sense of duty, whichever one you want to call it, activated. And then this happened. Couple of takeaways from doing it solo. So, first up, the runs. I surprised myself by, in the first few runs, maintaining a 620, 630-ish pace. Don't know where it came from. Clearly, the gels had activated or I was powered up or whatever it was, but maintaining a steady 620, 630 for at least 3 or 4 of the runs, I was like, yeah, that's nice. And then more towards the end, obviously the pace tapered off. And even so, it tapped out at about 730, 740-ish. Not quick to you, but to me, that's totally fine. I'm really happy with that. And V is performance was somewhere around the same time. So that means we're pretty much on par. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to take into the race. The opening couple of stations weren't even too bad either, to be honest. With the skier, got a nice, comfortable, sustainable rhythm. And I've been watching game tapes as well. So I found where there's room for improvement. So that's something I'm going to take into the future. The sled push. Now, at 150, it was fine. It was just fine. And funny story, when V and I did the original full sim, what we didn't account for was the sled weight. So we were actually doing pro weights when we were supposed to be doing open weights. You live and you learn. The sled pull, on the other hand, was where things start to go pear-shaped a bit. In a way, I think because I was so comfortable with the weights, I was kind of showing off to myself for some reason. My form was all over the place, so I'm not going to be doing that in the race. I'm just going to lock in, take it seriously, and concentrate on my rope management because that was also garbage. Now, burpee broad jumps. This was the first station where I kind of felt like, yeah, I might be in trouble. Because as you'd expect, if you're doing doubles, then you've got some sort of like respite because you'll do as much as you can, then tag out, and then you've got the chance to rest while your partner does some of the work. But with no partner, I was stressed. I was tired. It was just like, it was proper taking it out of me. And like, in the end, it was leading to jumps like this. I know, right? Push through and firmed the run afterwards. And I used the rower just to have a cheeky gel. Took it like nice and easy, just a chance to catch my breath and that kind of thing because, yeah, again, I was really starting to feel it. And on that note, the sandbag lunges and the kettlebell were next. Now the kettlebells, I can only describe them as, at that stage of the race, unnecessary roughness because 100 meters in or so, I was just like, yeah, this is calm. And I was kind of shuffling along as well, which I was kind of happy about. But like towards the end of it, I was just like, my arms were on fire. My traps were on fire. Just, yeah, there's no need. For the sandbag lunges, the less said about those, the better. Like, I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'll be suspended 6 months. Jose Mourinho voice. I hated them. Having to touch the floor with your knee as well. Last but not least, wall balls. Now, what I said about concentrating, that was true. and that it definitely worked. Like, figured out my stance, wide stance. That's how we're doing it on race day. Got into a nice rhythm, but then the first 5-10 were fine. The following 7 or so were cool, and then after that, it's just like I was reduced to like doing ones and twos and threes and whatever, and just taking a break. I was just like, I just feel so tired. Everything just feels so heavy. Like my legs were sore, my shoulders were still burning. I was just thinking to myself, like, I'll get through this, but how do people do this so quickly? Like, I don't. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna get through this. I'm really, really struggling. Like, yeah, how am I supposed to do this? And then I realized I'm using the wrong ball weight. After that revelation, I'd like to say that it was all smooth sailing, but it just wasn't. I just stuck at reps of 2 to 5 and trying to keep count what was going on until I eventually got them finished. Nah, I did it in a record-breaking time for me of 1:35 and 30 seconds. Shout out me. It's not the quickest time, but it's the benchmark. Remember that time. Moving on. What better to do next day than go to the gym and kick off peak week? It was supposed to be legs, but full sim shenanigans, I needed a rest, so swapped them around, did upper first, legs that can wait to the midweek. Let's have a nosy, shall we? Alright, so that was 124.5, that's top set. Heaviest upper lift of the whole training set. Really started to the weight moved fine, and it probably looked like it was fine, but I can actually notice for the first time a loss in strength, because I'm not saying 120 is easy for me, but 120.5 should have been moving a lot easier than that. Yeah. Fine. Happy with shifting the weight, but tired. Let's keep it moving. Today's been off for so I don't know what's going on. Today's been off. What happened as well?
It's fine. You start off now.
I think that when you're 14, I think that's just
You don't normally do that.
yeah.
You're normally very like squats. So we need to move forward.
So, as you saw, all right, all right. As you saw, messed up the first one. Form was off, leaning forward. Got a few coaching tips from V on the side. Return back to normal. Easy 5. I'm tired though, and I've definitely lost a lot of strength because that took way too much of like mental, whatever it is, concentration, whatever it is, just to lock in and do that properly. Plus, my squat form is off altogether. Like, for me to be leaning forward, that's not normal. I think to be banging into the side of the bar as well, that's also not normal. So, as soon as this block is done, I'll be doing a lot more leg work to fix that, get my form back. Anyway, let's keep going. See that? Doesn't always go sweet, does it? And of course, I'd have a bad set the week before a race, but it just is what it is. Like, at the time, my head was on the moon. But yeah, it's done. Don't have to look at it for a few weeks. Don't have to look at squat, for a few weeks. Yeah, let's keep it moving. Also got a couple of runs in this week. I know, right? Look at me. I started off the week with a threshold session. It went okay at best. Legs were still tired from the sim, but I held it. Like, it was 2 20-minute blocks at threshold pace, and I completed both 20-minute blocks. Shout out to me. Pretty happy with that. I also got an easy long run in garbage ass weather. Just, yeah, steady 8. Nothing really to shout about or anything like that, but it's in the bag and I can take it easy for a few weeks. No HYROX session this week because, like I said, commitments. And my commitment this week was going to Portugal to celebrate one of the man's 40th birthday and potentially undoing the last 3-4 weeks of work with late nights and partying. Life. Going into the table, I feel like I'm in a good space. I feel like the plan that I put together, it's actually worked pretty well, regardless of how much of it I've actually adhered to. And a testament to that is my body's actually like held it together. Like, I was concerned at the start about a hip injury and also being flat-footed, but those haven't popped up at all, regardless of what running, full sim, any sort of like weight exercise or anything. So yeah, that's a win. Tapering weeks and deload weeks in general are always a bit of a weird one for me because it takes me a while to get into a rhythm. And then once I get into that training rhythm, I just like to hammer it, just we're going hard. But then here comes a deload week to shut fun down. But I've learned over the years I kind of have to respect that deload week because if I ignore it, what ends up happening is by about week 10 or 12 in a row, I take my foot off the gas and just like lose a bit of motivation. And then what happens is I don't get that back for about 2-3 weeks. So at my age, I think it's sensible to respect deload weeks and taper weeks and whatnot. And yeah, use it to just prepare for what's next. I say all that to say, I feel pretty comfortable, pretty confident of a comfortable finish. I know I'm going to have fun while I do it. The work's been done. I've banked as much as I can. Next week is game time. Soon come.